Raiden? Once you get those brains back, what are we gonna do with them?
I still gotta discuss that with Doc. He's still got the brains from Mexico, but the human rights group wouldn't take them in. It didn't sound like it was going too smoothly.
Yeah, that's what he told me too. I can understand the NGO's position, but these kids, they're completely helpless in all this.
I know. We don't have nearly enough cyborg bodies for all of them. And if we want to give them child-sized bodies, they'd have to be almost entirely custom-made. For now, Doc's sending virtual environment data to their brains, just like their VR training. At least that should help cut down on their stress levels.
Yeah, but that only works up to a point, doesn't it? Doc said he can't simulate realistic human interaction with the tech we have right now. They must be lonely.
And they know lonely. None of them had families. That, or they were abandoned by them. For some of them, the real world might not be a whole lot different. You know what my childhood was like. I'd take life in an empty room by myself over that any day.
Raiden.
It's a work in progress, for sure. But Doc will work something out.
Roger that. Sending back up.
More Patriot intel. Bring me more. And maybe I can develop something interesting from it. Here comes another attack.
Dead on! You cannot proceed any further via the rooftops. There is a freight railroad underground. The elevator ahead will take you to it.
This must be the railroad.
It would appear so. Likely part of Denver's old system. This city was a major transport hub in the early years of freight trains. This particular line appears to have been abandoned some time ago. It was originally constructed to transport supplies to an underground factory. But now, it seems even the electrical system is no longer functioning.
Yeah, it's pitch black in here.
As a cyborg, I trust this is not a serious concern.
Boris, you got anything for me?
What
do I...
Well, we have...
That's...
But he's taking... Why not that?
Right. How's the mechs? No headaches or anything?
No. Why do you ask?
You're in a high altitude zone, remember?
Oh, right. The Mile High City. Didn't think I'd have to worry about altitude sickness yet, though. You're checking my stats, right? Oxygen density's only 10% off normal. Body's still in the green.
Yeah, I'm watching. Just remember, it's definitely gonna feel a little different from sea level.
Copy. You know, I didn't realize how big Denver's gotten. It was never exactly small, I know, but it looks like it's really blown up these past few years.
It's a good place to live. The tech sector's booming, people are moving in, and unemployment's low too.
I always figured Colorado's more about military than anything else.
Originally, yeah. Denver, like Colorado in general, is filled with federal agencies and defense contractors.
And NORAD and Peterson Air Force Base are just a short drive away, right? Over in Colorado Springs.
And then there's all the nuclear facilities too.
Right. I remember hearing about the Rocky Flats plant.
Yeah, they manufactured the plutonium triggers that detonate nuclear bombs. It was shut down late last century for illegal pollution offenses. Of course, there's still a ton of military manufacturing activity going on in Colorado.
PMCs too, right?
Yep. PMCs like World Marshal. They've been on a buying frenzy, gobbling up a whole bunch of smaller outfits. That growth is what's enabled them to expand into the public sector. Their work in private policing has really boosted their profile.
I'm not necessarily against small government, but when you mix the public authority with private firms...
It never works out, yeah. This is probably obvious, but this police force is basically a full-on army. Don't go easy on them.
Don't intend to.
You okay, buddy? Looks like
Quick question, Doc.
Yes, Raiden.
Doc, those kids, how are they feeling?
Oh, after the chloroform, you mean? No need to be concerned. Thanks to your quick actions, the effects have already dissipated.
Good to hear. Why the hell were they using chloroform? I thought they stopped using it as an anesthetic ages ago.
Correct. Sevoflurane or isoflurane are the preferred inhalation anesthetics today. However, chloroform is still quite useful as an organic solvent. In certain doses, mind you. Otherwise, as that cretin mentioned, it can be a bit dangerous.
It certainly turned out dangerous for him.
Yes. In any case, its properties make it useful for an assortment of applications. The chemical synthesis of medication, for example, or creating the coolant used in modern cryopreservers.
Fascinating.
Indeed. Well, Raiden, wonderful work. Had you waited any longer before breaking the glass, things might not have turned out as well as they did.
How's it going with the brain units, Doc? Any problems?
Oh, they could not be better. They're being kept at exactly 36 degrees Celsius with a steady, uninterrupted supply of oxygen and glucose. Synchronizing them with our equipment posed some difficulty, but everything's perfectly stable now.
That's good to hear. What kind of VR are they getting?
I've prepared very comfortable rooms for each and every one. It's not quite Schloss Neuschwanstein, but each one enjoys the equivalent of a 4-star hotel suite. Every room includes an attached pool and an extensive library of on-demand video programming. 3 meals are delivered daily, and while we're only able to do so much vis-a-vis taste sensation, it should satisfy the psychological need for food, at least.
Doesn't sound too bad. I wouldn't mind a little VR training like that for a change.
Oh, be my guest. I'd like to experience it for myself, you know, but for now it is available to cyborgs only. Exciting work is being done in the realm of invasive brain-machine interfaces. But there simply isn't much demand for it at the moment.
I guess not too many folks are willing to stick electrodes in their brains just for a taste of VR.
Perhaps, but the sense of reality is considerably improved over nanomachine-based non-invasive methods. If prices were kept low enough, I imagine the video game industry at least would clamor for it.
Who coded the virtual hotel?
An assistant. He used to write VR programs for UGs, but now specializes in cyborg software. A bit of a niche right now, yes, but when brain-machine interfaces take off, it will be a big business. The children's accommodation is a reworked version of the original beta software he built. The room's 3D models are all made using free libraries. It couldn't have been easier.
I wish everyone loved their work as much as you do, Doc. They don't go stir-crazy, though? Cooped up in their rooms?
There's little I can do about that. Creating an open world would take orders of magnitude more resources.
What about communication?
Another weak spot, yes. The NPCs available to us are all for military training purposes. It will be some time until we see VR characters capable of convincingly human interaction. Sadly, we're also not yet able to connect multiple brains to a single VR space. My assistants are operating virtual agents to give them a bare minimum of mental care. But our team is limited in size, and none of us are medical professionals, you know.
They can't stay in there forever. How's it going with the brain unit?
Oh, they're synchron.
That's good.
It's not ever three.
Doesn't sound...
Oh, I'd like to...
I get...
if...
Who?
And a bit of it, the room's street.
I wish... They don't go stir-crazy?
There's little I can do about that.
What about communication?
Another weak spot. Yeah, it will be some time until we... Sadly, we're all... My assistants are operating virtual...
They can't stay... All right. It's a bit brighter now.
Nothing is brighter, Raiden, but you are now more capable of seeing everything. I am setting goal markers on you. I will ignore...
So, there's really no legal recourse to stop World Marshal here? We couldn't leak that video of Armstrong or something?
Boris, Kevin, and I talked this over already. Not gonna work. The media would never show it.
I guess not. That's why PMC started advertising so heavily all of a sudden, isn't it? So they could influence the media.
Yeah. PMCs don't have anything to sell to regular people, but that's not what those ads were for. It's a part of the aftermath of the Patriots' plan for manipulating the public. Restricting press access, allowing cross-ownership between media conglomerates. A media empire as iron-fisted as any other dictatorship.
So much for freedom of speech, huh?
Yeah. The Patriots are gone, but their effect still lingers. It's just too good a scheme for the government to get rid of.
Alright, so we can't go to the news. How about uploading it to some video site?
It'd get buried in the noise. People fabricate videos all the time to discredit other groups and companies. But when it's bullshit the public wants to believe, then it spreads like wildfire. If they don't care, it doesn't get noticed, even when it's the truth.
Yeah. I guess videos aren't permissible as evidence in court either. Could the kids testify for us?
The only thing they know for sure is that they were tricked into coming here. I doubt many have even heard the name World Marshal before. No one can prove anything. The money's all been laundered. The courts can't do a thing.
So you're doing it by force instead?
Yeah. I'm not trying to kill any employees, though. Working for a company like this one's a crime, whether you know it or not. But I'm only after two groups here. The guys in charge, and their contractors.
I hear you.
Beyond that, whatever it takes to unplug that VR program permanently.